What's up, boys? What's up? What did I miss? What did I miss? Mike Pelly, what's going on? How's the audio? We mic'd up? Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. That's the real deal, baby. That is the one. The Cursed Iron, straight out of Gothic, coming this week. This week to the Collector Art House community group and the Sorcery Community Realm Facebook community group and the Collector Art House Discord. Guys, I operate at like 12% brain capacity after 9 o'clock. A 9:30 T is high risk, very high risk. So we got that bad boy, and we got a doubleheader this week. One from Sorcery and one from Legend CCG from an artist who's been doing altars for Sorcery. So we're going to get into that one. All right, let's see who we got up in here. Mike Pelly, how you doing? Dan the Frogman, Kel Scythe. Kel Scythe is here. Omega Zool. John, how you doing, man? It almost looked like you said, hi AI. And then he corrected it to hi all. Oh, Joshua Minion. The Art House Man. The original Art House Man is in the house. All right, guys. Let me see. We got a lot to cover tonight. We got to get an overhead cam fired up. I was slightly... This is what happened, guys. The kids wanted to have a movie night. They're actually still having a movie night without me. And I had this like kernel of popcorn, like way up, like at the upper level of my gum line. And I thought I could get it with the tongue. I was trying hard before the show, and it just wasn't cutting it. So I had to run and grab the toothbrush, and now I'm back. All right. So we got to get the camera popping. I got the Dole Plantation shirt on tonight for some tropical vibes. Let me get this tuned up. All right, we got one of these. All right, that should do it. We're going to need an overhead cam tonight. You got booze and pizza? Amazing. All right, guys. So we got booze and pizza. We got Gadu tonight. We got the mechanism. We got the wyvern, the ring, and the cursed iron. The cursed iron from Gothic. Look at that. Dude, that thing looks absolutely insane in person. The people out in Europe at one of those European events, they got to see it. They know what I'm talking about. I'm getting updates on the cell phone. And now it's here in the Americas, but it's coming to auction and it'll ship to anywhere in the world. Whoever wins that auction is going to get a godly painting. The work that Matthias Frisk does, especially when he does hands, is absolutely insane. Like out of this world. I'm going to get you guys some good pictures of that. I could hold it up. I could do that. Dude, I'm going to take a video of that and it's going to blow your freaking mind. When I do like one of the video shorts that I do on the Collector Art House Instagram and the Collector Art House YouTube channel. It's going to be stunning. If you guys remember it was about Ziggly, what's up, man? It was about 2 years ago when I sold Matthias Frisk's Exorcism painting. And the Exorcism is the one where the priest's hand is holding the cross to the demons. And the hand in that thing was absolutely insane. You guys could go check out. I got some video shorts that kind of showed the video pan of that. And a bunch of images, of course, on the community Facebook group and in my Discord and whatnot. But his paintings and his hand detail are absolutely incredible. Matthias is a master at that. Amazing. All right, so let me see. What do we want to do here? Let's go with overhead cam. All right. We're going to set it up. We got a lot to showcase. I'm trying to think. Let's do all right, let's do a few things. There's so many things. And then we're going to have an alpha box break. So that's going to be pretty exciting. All right, so what we need to do is share the extra camera. I got a low disk space warning too. I gotta buy like what do you guys recommend? Like the cloud stuff these days, or the external hard drive? Maybe I need an external hard drive to offload all these videos. I'm doing a lot more recorded video content lately. It's filling things up. I got to get serious about this. All right, here we go. All right, guys, there she is. The amazing elemental avatars. Like, well, how did all these elemental avatars get on the desk? This is a playmat, not an official sorcery playmat. Some people like how can you not know that it's not an official sorcery playmat? It's got Severn's logo up there. No one not knows that, all right? But sometimes I got to accuse Mike. You sound official, like your stuff looks official. Like, what are you talking? There's no logo on it. If it was if it was official, it would have the sorcery logo on it. You have the Collect Art House Discord logo on it, very small in the lower left hand corner, and in the upper right hand corner, you have Severn's logo. So that signifies the collaboration between artist and art agent, art fan, fan of Severn, and I help Severn and many of the sorcery artists, right, and artists across the art industry, right. And we're going to get into that a little bit. So, first of all, these playmats are open for pre-order right now. This one came out absolutely gorgeous and stunning. However, it looks great under these bright lights, but the fire and the earth aspects, the darks in these are a little too dark, I think. You know, you lose a little bit of the detail. Maybe. I don't know. They're pretty amazing as is. Some people are saying, like, dude, don't touch that thing. It looks incredible. And like, I gotta agree on some level. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another round of sample playmats printed and sent to me. They're going to be expedited, so I'll probably get it next week sometime is what I would expect. And I asked them to go a little lighter on the color tones. Like, I love the deep blues, but I want to go a little lighter on the fire and the earth, right? So we're going to get another sample of these. And we have the pond playmat, which is... Where's the pond at? All right. We also have a pond playmat from the great Sam McKinnon. And this also looks very interesting. However, this is more of like a blood orange. This should all be yellow. These are very yellow hues throughout. There's like a bright yellow and then like a slightly darker yellow. But when they printed it, it came out too orange. It almost looks like a Halloween alt art variant. So that is also going to be corrected. And also, you could see kind of the logos again. You got Sam's logo with his tree for his company or his brand type logo, Sam McKinnon, the legendary McKinnon family, and the Collect Art House logo. He did a great job of that. So those both come in single player and 2-player playmats. You go to the links in all of my videos, and I have a link tree that shows all my socials and whatnot. Or I also directly link to my Patreon. You go into the Patreon, you can sign up at the free tier to place your order for the pre-order for the playmats. That's going to be the best pricing. Afterward, I order some overage, so there will be a little bit more offered later, but I'm not going to go nuts and like double the order, right? So it'll be more limited afterward if you don't get in on the pre-order, and the price will go up. So that's the best pricing you can get. You jump on the pre-order, and then you got to go to the Patreon. You can do it at the free tier, but if you sign up at any of the paid tiers, you get a $5 discount per mat, so it adds up quickly if you're getting... Even if you used to get one mat, you could sign up at the $5 Patreon tier and see if you like the Patreon. It kind of pays for itself. If you get multiple, then it pays for many months. Or you could join one of the more premium tiers and get special access, private access to stuff, and all kinds of things, right? So these come in single player and 2-player. That's the story on the playmats. That's going to be our backdrop tonight for the breaks. I might use the Philo Stone mat. Some of the others, sometimes we like to mix it up. So what we need to talk about, secondly, so we have the playmats, and then we have... Also, speaking of Patreon, the embellished prints, and I have a one of these clear acid-free bags on it to protect it. I'm not going to pull it. You're going to get some glare that's really not on there when you take it out of that. But in the interest of time, since we got a lot to cover, I'm going to show you the embellished prints. It's the same design, right, of the 4 elemental avatars. Gorgeous print. You can see it's pretty large print, very nice size, about 16 by 20 or so, roughly. And it has embellishments. You can see a little bit picking up on the light. You see it a lot better in person without the bag on it. But there's these beautiful embellishments throughout it. And what I did is I launched this one last weekend exclusively for Patreon supporters at the paid tiers. There's only 15 copies. This is the 15 of 15. I think 12 have been claimed already. So the Patreon supporters have first access to those. We run that first access window for a week. Everyone can stake claim and say, like, yes, I want that. I prefer these numbers. Usually people tell me 3 or 4 numbers. I try to accommodate as best I can. And then if they If it's over 15, then it goes based on the level of Patreon tier, highest tier first, and then also duration of support. So some guys have been with me 2 to 3 years. They would get priority in a tiebreaker scenario at the same pledge level, for example. If it doesn't hit all 15, and again, I think we're at 12 right now, and the priority window ends tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to decide it. I'm going to allocate those to patrons. And let's say that no one else jumps in from Patreon. There'll be 3 left over that I will offer to the public. First come, first serve. And you guys got to be quick when I make that announcement. Probably in the Collector Art House Discord as well, I'll make that announcement. I don't like to announce like direct sales things in the community group. I run auctions there in the best interest of the artists because that has the broadest audience to help the artists sell their original artworks, like the Cursed Iron and many paintings, artist proofs, altars, that type of thing, but not direct sale stuff. There, you would see that in the Collector Art House Patreon and in the Collector Art House Facebook group. I have a Facebook group called Collector Art House, separate from the Sorcerer community group. It's my own personal group. And I also have, of course, the Collector Art House Patreon and the Collector Art House Discord. So that's where you get tagged and find those opportunities. All right, so that's the playmats. That's the embellished prints. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Andrina Jardim. So Andrina Jardim is a artist who I have been supporting for the past like year or so, right? Do we want to look at the elemental avatar lady in our face like at like ultra zoom range like that? I don't know. She's got like a soft, beautiful chin to her. It's very nice. And the water element, who gets no respect. Maybe more respect's coming in Gothic. I don't know. Do we want to look at this? Or do we want to look at the Philo Stone mat when we do this? I don't know. You guys should say something in chat. She's fine? All right, she's fine. All right. Since she's fine, we'll go with it. It's a little distracting now. I got to refocus. So we were talking about Andrina Jardim. And Andrina Jardim is the Altar Land on Instagram is how you would find her. And she's an amazing artist, like extremely talented. So when I sought out artists that I thought would be incredible to do altars for Sorcery Contested Realm, I went out on the Facebook groups. Instagram is a great source for discovering artists. And I would find these altarists that were really amazing. Or just like regular artists that hadn't done altars, really. I was trying to find that as well and see if people really wanted to try their hand at painting cards, which is an adjustment. If you go from full-scale painting to painting in fine detail with a fine brush on cards, that can be a difficult transition, even for some of the sorcery artists to do their own artist proofs and things like that, or altars. So I sought that out, and I tried to find a lot of artists that had like a different skill set to introduce a lot of stylistic diversity, just like sorcery with its many great artists, and tried to introduce new art to the sorcery community every single day. So you see those on the community group. We get to discover new. No, you didn't miss the box break, Matthew. I do like an introduction for like a solid hour typically, and then we do a box break. So we got a lot to cover tonight. There's a lot of exciting news. So I talked about the playmats you're seeing on the screen right now and embellished prints. I'm talking about Andrina Jardim right now because we're going to introduce a first original painting from Andrina Jardim. So Andrina Jardim of the Altar Land has been doing altars for the past 6 to 12 months. If you guys are on the Sorcery Community Facebook group or the Collector Art House Discord, you've seen and discovered a lot of her work. It's absolutely stunning. She's like one of the most creative, imaginative artists, I think, that I work with in the altar scene. They're all like amazing in their own way, right? And they're all extremely skilled, and they all have their own unique, unmistakable style. And that was the intent. I wanted them to all be different, and that's what we see. And it's a lot of fun. So, for example, we just saw this one from Pietro de Cero, and he's got like this, to me, like an old school, like classical style to him. He's a guy in Italy, the culture is different there. The influences, the museums. He also did these awesome foil tokens and full arts that he did these artworks with all these frogs. So that is Pietro de Cero. That's his style. When you look at Andrina Jardim, this is her style. So here is the Grand Master Wizard. This one's going to be coming up this week sometime. In the coming week, this will be auctioned. So an elite mortal of arcane expertise. And you see the elements of arcane. I mean, she's truly brilliant and incredible. Look how galactically surreal this is. It's incredible. It's credible imagination and execution every single time with Andrina. I'm so proud of her as an artist and so happy and humbled and honored to work with her and promote her work and try to get as much visibility as we possibly can for the great Andrina Jardim. Look at that. It looks like it's literally printed on there. She's like at a skill level that's like up there with Atlas Thorn, who I think is like an absolute god tier master. You know, I call Andrina the visionary and Atlas Thorn the prodigy because he's still like a young guy, but he's like god tier talent, like stunningly so. Like every one of his artworks look like an absolute original masterpiece. It's incredible. And here's Andrina doing incredible work. The Grandmaster Wizard just looks amazing. So this one's coming this week, and we show that because we're going to talk about an original that Andrina did. And this is a really nice story. So I introduced her through Sorcery Channels, but now she has been officially published and commissioned for Legend CCG. And Legend CCG is a game that's going to be coming out probably in a few years. I think he's targeting like 2028, literally. We're almost in 2026. 2028 sounds like a lifetime away, but it's like 2 years away, guys. 2 years is 2 sets of Sorcery. And then you got Legend CCG all of a sudden. So it's going to be incredible. He's commissioning a lot of artists, amazing artists. You know, I'm really impressed with his artist lineup. I actually acquired my first personal original from Legend CCG. It just came today, actually. It came today, and another god tier, like unbelievable painting from Sorcery came today, which I'm not ready to reveal yet. I got to do a proper reel. I mean, it's absolutely like insane, this painting, you know. And the collection is just growing, and it's incredible, and it's so much fun. So Andrina Jardim from Legend CCG has this certificate of authenticity. This was done. She signed this, dated it August 20th, 2025. So she actually shipped this to me last week. It came pretty quick. We wanted to get it before this de minimis rule was imposed. You know, there's a lot of like chaos going with international shipping. So a bunch of artists sent me a bunch of artist proofs, altars, paintings. I got the painting from Matthias, actually 2 paintings from Matthias. This is the first that's going to be offered. I got a few coming from Jussi Pilkus. First ever offers from Jussi Pilkus. I mean, he's amazing. That's really exciting. We got this one from Andrina Jardim, and this is the Meadow Witch. Okay. So I, Andrina Jardim, hereby certify that the artwork entitled Meadow Witch is an original and unique creation by me under my artistic identity, The Alterland. All right. So the piece was created in 2025 using the technique of mixed media with dimensions of 31 by 22. I think she used acrylics, but I'll have to see specifically what she means by mixed media. The work is part of a unique edition and bears my signature as proof of authenticity. Okay. And the certificate accompanies the artwork mentioned above and serves as a proof of its originality and artistic value. So Meadow Witch, I declare all copyrights belong to the artist and that this artwork may not be reproduced or copied without my explicit consent. Good message. Signed, beautiful signature by Andrina. That's a picture of the painting. I'm going to show the original in a moment. And I did a showcase video of this. You could find it on the channel. This here is the gorgeous Meadow Witch by Andrina Jardim for Legend CCG. So she did altars for Sorcery. And now her first original painting. It's a really exciting moment. She's very excited to be part of this game. I think she's doing at least a few pieces that I know of so far. I've not seen any of the others yet. This one was revealed, and this is just like a brilliantly executed, imaginative, like unbelievable work of art. She is so incredible. Her and Atlas, I just want to cover my entire body with tattoos of their artwork. You thought I was going to say my house, but I went right to body. I did not mess around. I'd like to enhance my face with their artwork, to be honest. You know, it would be a big upgrade. I'd probably get a lot more views, many more views if I had this on my face. So this is the Meadow Witch, guys. A gorgeous, amazingly detailed, colorful, like gorgeous artwork. And I wanted to tell you guys about the concept of this piece before we get back to Sorcery really quick. So I talked to Josh, the creator of Legend CCG, and he shared with me the artistic direction of this incredible painting, what he told Andrina to do. And what he said is, I think Andrina had asked her, he actually covers it here. All right. So here's the first thing. This is what the game text will read. And I have no idea what this means, right? This is not Sorcery. This is Legend CCG, this particular painting from Andrina. And I don't know how the game plays. It's such early formative stages that I think that's still evolving. He's commissioning a lot of art. Like I think he did like 100 100 pieces already, just like Eric. He like balls to the wall, like commissioning a ton of art for this game. and he's working on the game design in parallel, just like Sorcery did, just like Eric did. And he's formulating a team, pulling people in, getting it done. So it says right now, this is the game text. It has a heel touch effect. And it says in Poppy Meadow has double power and forfeit and may cast magic spell. Use 1 mana, target character immediately retreats. It gains +1 power. It gains a power +1 counter. What the hell that means, I have no freaking clue. No idea. No idea how to play this game. No one knows how to play this game in such early stages. We're just seeing the artwork. Just like in Sorcery, we fell in love with the artwork first and then the gameplay. And then it says, this is going to be a lot, guys. It's a whole paragraph describing the artistic concept. So he said, Andrina asked Josh, the creator of Legend CCG, to tell her a story about this character. And for a little context, Josh likes to write like books, I think, like illustration books. And I think he's actually writing like a novel. And it's like an illustrated novel. He had Elvira Palakowska do a painting for him. It was like a long landscape style painting that he might use in Legend CCG, I think. But it's very long, like horizontally landscape style. So I think the intent there was it's going to be the cover of the jacket of the book, the front and the back. But I digress. He's a storyteller, all right? So here's the story of the Meadow Witch. You're a traveler, and the journey to your destination is far, but you've somehow wandered off a path into a flowering meadow. And just look at the artwork as I tell this story, and as Andrina internalized this and manifested this in this gorgeous painting. So you've somehow wandered off the path into a flowering meadow. You don't quite remember how it happened. And this meadow is filled with trees and a pond, and there are these flowers everywhere, and it's all very peaceful. So much that you begin to feel fatigued. You sit beside a tree, surrounded by these vagrant flowers, and before you know it, you've drifted off to sleep. The next thing you know, you're in a house somewhere, in a bed, and someone is milling about around you at work of some kind. Gradually, you become a little more cognizant, and beginning to see more clearly, you realize it is an old woman. Eventually, you recognize her to be a halfling, but she is very strange looking, as if she is altered somehow. She appears to be making something, some kind of concoction, but you're not sure what it is. You realize she is well aware you're awake, but she is not threatening. She begins to sing a very airy song, but it is also calming. Before you realize it, you've fallen back to sleep, and when you wake up, you're back beneath that tree, that first tree you fell asleep beside. And somehow you feel amazing. Getting up after searching around a little, you find yourself back on the original path, and you're not even sure where that meadow could have been at all. But nevertheless, you travel on. Soon you discover the present in your pocket someone has put there for you, something to keep you feel energized. You're a little confused but thankful, and the image of that strange old halfling woman at work in her house keeps flashing before your eyes. Dude, that is the longest thing I've ever read in my life. It was very hard to focus. It was very hard to get through all that. It was extremely difficult. I don't read things, guys. But I did it. I put on for my city tonight. I put on for Andrina Jardim. This is a beautiful concept. I guess this is the house she kind of honed in on the halfling elderly woman, and it's in this majestic setting. It's amazing, guys. It's absolutely a gorgeous, stunning piece. And this will be coming to auction Sunday to Monday. Not going to run it in the Sorcery community group, obviously. It's for Legend CCG. There's a Legend CCG community group that I created on Facebook. So it's going to be posted there, and it's going to be posted in the Collector Art House Discord. So you can bid on Facebook if you're on Facebook, and you can join that group, Legend CCG community group. Go check it out. There's like 150 people. I just created it like in the past week or so. And then in the Collector Art House Discord, you can come join the Collector Art House Discord. The links are always in the show notes, and you can take a shot at this first ever painting by the incredible Andrina Jardim. So I read off the details from the COA, the Certificate of Authenticity. She said mixed media. We'll get clarification on the media. We'll show the comments here on the screen. That'll be coming up. All right, what did I miss in the chat, guys? Let's see. Khakis and sandals today, Mike? Socks and sandals, buddy. Got to keep those feet warm. All right, so Lady Liberty loves the playmats. Thank you very much. Yes. They're gorgeous. You got to think Severn. This is Severn's design. So some people are asking. I saw some people like in the marketplace, like these guys in the Sorcery Marketplace Discord, like to talk shit on me all the time. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. I don't even know these people. They're talking trash and they're like, yeah. But they were talking about the playmats one day. Every once in a blue moon, I poke my head in. And I'm like, who's talking smack today? Let's see what these degenerates have to say today, right? These smart guys. And they were talking about the playmats one day, and some guys were I don't know what they were talking. It was something about like the design of these playmats or something like that. And like some of them are just the art from Sorcery, so the artists own the copyright, so they can make whatever playmats they want, distribute it out them however they want. So they work with me, and we offer them to the public. I do it through my Patreon, but again, you don't have to be a paid tier member, so it's available to the public. I just take the orders through Patreon, so I can audit like all the orders in one spot. I know who ordered, what they ordered. I can compare that to the PayPal payment and just sync it up and make sure everything's good. Double, triple check, and then get them out there as soon as I can after I do the full scale production after a pre-order. So the artists, when they don't do the straight up painting from Sorcery, like a concept like this, I just approached Severn. I was like, hey, Severn, it would be absolutely incredible if we get all of the elemental avatars on a singular playmat in both single player and two player. She's okay. Let me take a cut at that. She went off and did it. She made it happen. This was entirely her design, her idea. Absolutely beautiful. She did the work on this. I didn't go into Photoshop and work this out myself. Severn designed this herself, and that's why it's so masterful, because she's a brilliant, incredible artist, right? So this is her design. There it is in all its glory. This is the 2-player mat, so it's very large. It's taking up a large surface here. You have the logos in the opposite corners, and then in the 2-player mat, what we did a test print, and it was so she mocked this up, right? I sent it to the printer. They send me a couple samples. What happened on the single-player print is the 2 logos were in the lower left, and it got cut off, right? So they're like, you got to work the grid or move the logos somehow to make it fit. So those are going to be like in the middle at the bottom. I think some of the prior playmats that I did in the first round had that. So that was adjusted. We're going to get those reprinted and sent, and that's the playmats. It's designed by the artist. All right, ready for Gothic. You didn't miss the break. We covered that. We got the break coming up later. You guys love Pietro. Dude, the neoprene is strong on these fresh prints, man. I can't even breathe. You guys like the Andrina arts? Yeah, thank you very much for the compliments for Andrina. Her and Dustin are your favorites. Timbo Slice. You got great taste, brother. They're both amazing. You want a Mikkel tattoo on your forehead, says Dan. That adds up. Makes sense. When you get to 1 million subscribers, face tat time. That is a... Who would I pick? Would I pick Andrina? Vivian? It's got to be one of the alters, right? They got to alter my face. So it's got to be Dustin, Andrina. It could be Pietro. I'd have to go to Italy for that one. Actually, a lot of these artists are in Europe. We got Dustin locally in America. Everyone else I got to travel for. Vivian, Andrina. Who am I missing? Pietro. Dustin's here. And Atlas Thorn is like the furthest away. But it might be worth it. I don't know. All right, let's see. I can see myself become interested in Legend, but it would be difficult to make room in my heart with Sorcery taking up so much room. Yeah, man, that's exactly how I felt. But at the end of the day, I also love art. I always said like I'd be all in on only Sorcery. That'd be my only TCG. I'd never stray, right? But when a new game, because it's like it's unimaginable that a game would like commission all hand painted traditional art. So when one does it, you're like, wow. And they commissioned. I think they're going to end up commissioning some of the alters that I work with. So that's tremendously exciting. We love their work. Andrina's artwork is going to be in that game now. So that's extremely compelling and exciting. So where can I find info about this new CCG? The Legends CCG community group. And there's actually a Discord that they just opened up. But join the community group. I posted all the art that has been revealed so far. There's more to come, actually. I'm behind on a few. Let me see. All right, let's see. I love when Mike reads me bedtime stories. I stuttered a few times. Reading's hard. All right. All right, guys. I'm largely caught up here. Phyllis down in the middle of my forehead. That would be an upgrade for sure. All right, guys. Timbo, hit me up later and I'll send you the link to... Actually, go to my Legend CCG videos. I did a first video on like introducing Legend CCG. And in that video, I linked the Facebook community group. So the Yeah, the Legend CCG Facebook community group. But if you want the Discord link, I can send that to you later. All right, guys. So that's Discord. Dan bid 469 on the Truid altars. All right, or the artist proofs. So looking at all right, let's go back to Zoom action and let's cover a few other things. All right, this is gonna be fun, guys. All right, so the second thing that's up, let's go with the what's up for the weekend auctions right now in the Sorcery community Facebook group and the Collect Artists Discord. We have the Crusade and the Jihad, right? And these concepts are really great. We're doing paired concepts. There's been a few of these offered through Collector Art House for Truid. You know, most of the proceeds go to Truid. So Crusade, remember that's on the left, and Jihad's on the right, right? So on Crusade, you have the Kneeling Crusader at the top here, looking at his spoils of war, which is the death of his enemies, the massacre of his enemies. He's kind of kneeling in respect, but he's also marveling at his own conquest. And then on Jihad, you have a bunch of slayed crusaders. You see it on their chest armor, and on the fallen shield. So brilliant paired concept. Really amazing. Truid is the GOAT. It's a great young artist, emerging talent from Sorcery. And did I pull out the No. 3 kids. 3 kids later. All right, guys. Gotta clean it up here. We probably got kids watching. So there's the Step Curio. There's the Step Curio. And there is the Crusade and Jihad. Epic, right? And the Slain Warriors with Step. So there it is, guys. It's an amazing 3-piece. Someone should frame that up like that, you know? Buy one of those frames. You could even get a plaque saying what it is. There's the Religious Wars, Sorcery Stories. All right. So I got to put my Step aside. I got to be careful not to commingle my stuff with other people's stuff. Could be problematic. All right, so that's going on this weekend. And then also this weekend, we have a incredible piece of history with the Boss Troll. So why is this Boss Troll signed? It is signed in the lower right by one of the probably the first employee of Eric's Curiosa, more a consultant, I would say. And this person, it's the person I acquired all of these Spellcraft from. This one is not mine. So like I acquired most of his collection, but there's one other guy that acquired a smaller subset of it. And he let some of this go. Some of it I auctioned for him on his behalf. Others he's traded or sold directly. And I am now selling a collection for this collector who had acquired this one. So this is the Boss Troll. It is a Spellcraft card. So before, and you can see this is homemade by Eric, cut by Eric. It's not centered, you know, it's not like a pristine factory cut piece. It's a really early playtest, early development card. And the Boss Troll in its final form, as I recall, it was 1 to cast, or was it 2 to cast and 3 power, or 1 to cast and 2 power, I think, ultimately in Alpha. This one was 1 to cast with 3 power. So in the early days, a lot of these cards were really overpowered, and so until they really started playtesting and got these balanced. But this person who helped with the game very early on is a author. He's a writer. He writes for Flesh and Blood. He's down in New Zealand, so Eric knew of him. He's done a lot of articles and work for Flesh and Blood. I think he still does work for Flesh and Blood, but he did work for Eric very early on in writing the flavor text of these cards. So at this time, I believe he probably wrote or referenced this flavor text. He wrote a lot of the flavor text, right? So he's signed for prominence, and the template at that time was often reused in digital versions of the card or the playtest versions. I mean, typically you wouldn't go through a lot of exhaustive effort to tinker with the just the look of the card, really, if it's more for playtest at that phase. Some of it might have had some to do with the art, but they used a template. It said Vincent Pompetti on the bottom. This is obviously a Vasily Ermolayev artwork, so that's an interesting nuance to it, and also the power level change. So that's the Boss Troll Spellcraft being offered with one of the Foot Soldiers Spellcraft, right? So initially, the tokens were half size. You look relative to the card, it's about half the size of the card. So I have it in the top loader. And then here's a beta token of the same Foot Soldier It went to quarter size. And some of you guys that are newer to the game may not know this, but they asked the printer to print it half size, right? But the printer had already printed it half size. So when they got instruction from Eric's Curiosa to print half size, they made it half size of the half size. All of a sudden it was quarter size, right? And as they were playtesting the game, they're like, oh, look at that. Half size is a lot more practical. If this was like a site, like an Atlas site, you can put that over the card. You could still see the mechanic of the card, no problem, right? Like, let me pull the step curio back. Here I am playing the game, and I want to put a foot soldier in the middle of the war, no problem. I can still see what the card does, right? So it's more practical at quarter size. So they went with that for the final alpha print and then beta. If it was half size, all of a sudden you got a problem there, right? Like, oh, well, you're doing awkward things. You got these big clunky cards, it looks less natural. So the quarter size is more practical for gameplay. But here you have a Spellcraft of one of these tokens at the initial half size. So real cool piece of history. Those are being offered together up for auction tonight through Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. There's just the beta one for reference on sizing. So those two cards, those two Spellcraft are up this weekend. You guys can check that out at the Sorcery Community Facebook group and the Collector Art House Discord. You can bid in either place. You don't have to be a Facebook person. You don't have to be a Discord person. And sometimes people want to just DM me and bid privately. You could do that too. I respect that. Some people give me shit that I accept private bids. And I say, well, I'm not going to deprive anybody of their privacy. So you don't like it, don't bid. What can I say? I mean, I'm not going to gaslight, alienate anybody that wants privacy. It's their right, and why would I deny them of that? So some people don't want to know what they're spending money on, what they're collecting. They don't want to be harassed after they buy it, and people soliciting them to go buy more from them. This stuff happens, right? And when you're out in public, bidding in public on Facebook or on Discord, maybe you start getting targeted and they're like, oh, I saw you bought this. You want to buy this, this, and this? There's a bunch of hustlers out there, shaking people down. So some people don't want that. Other people they don't really like using social media in general. So they don't want to bid publicly. So we do it privately, and I have someone independent, an admin of the Discord, validate. I do a screenshot of the private message, so it's not just taking my word for it. Someone else validates, and you can have confidence that everything is above board. All right, guys. So let me see here. All right. All right, so we got that. What did I have here? Oh, okay. So we were talking about Sam McKinnon. We did dude, I can barely breathe with this neoprene sandwich I'm eating right now. Stop. Mike knows, Dan. All right. So I'm going to show you the next artist proof coming from Sam McKinnon, since we are... Here's the thing with Sam McKinnon, guys. I'm collaborating with Sam for the first time on artist proofs and on the playmat design of the Pond playmat. So he sent me 2 artist proofs. He offered one last weekend. Actually, it was kind of 3, basically. So the last one was a paired concept. Last weekend, did really great. Sam was very happy. So thank you guys for your interest in his work and big on him. When I had the great honor, and I got to thank Eric's Curiosa for this. I hope I get an opportunity in Gothic to introduce a new artist again. That would be like a dream, right? Just like it was last year when I got to do that for Arthurian Legends. And it was really special because it was the legendary McKinnon family, right? Seb McKinnon's a big star artist through Magic, through his personal works, incredibly talented. And here's the McKinnon family. Like, all the brothers are like artistic geniuses in their own right. And here comes Sam. I don't know if he's the youngest of the family. I think he's definitely younger than Seb. But he's like a godly artist in his own right. So whenever I talk about Sam, I never talk about Seb, because it doesn't matter. Like, it's cool that they're brothers. They're from the same family, and they're both like amazing talents. And I think when Sam came on, he said their mom's like an art teacher and stuff too. This is interesting because I think, or she's into art in some capacity. And I believe Truitt's mom's also an artist. So it like runs in the family, right? And it's like an influence. So they were surrounded by art growing up. And I had the opportunity to introduce Sam McKinnon to fans through a reveal of the Sherwood Huntress. And now I get to reveal an artist proof of the Sherwood Huntress by Sam McKinnon. The beautiful Sherwood Huntress. And I apologize for the glare in the top loader. This is a touching piece, man. The last one was a dragon, and it was the horseback knight driving a spear through the belly of the dragon. This one is a more personal, touching, gorgeous, beautiful piece with a lot of like sentiment, which is, as you can't tell, maybe you can't tell from the artwork in the background, but I love sentimental pieces, right? That's what typically resonates strongest with me, especially in artist proofs too. Not so much the high fantasy as much. I really love like sentimental pieces. One of the first paintings I went after was, or the only one I got from Lindsay Crummett was the Seasoned Sellsword, because I thought that was like a touching piece, like a valiant female warrior in battle. I thought was really awesome. And here's the beautiful Sherwood Huntress. This is probably what I'm going to open the week with. So this will launch Sunday. Also on Sunday, for a week-long auction, we're going to have the Cursed Iron painting. It's going to run Sunday to Friday, and we're going to have the Andrina Jardim Meadow Witch from Legend CCG painting. And we're going to kick off the week with the first artist proof will be this one from the great Sam McKinnon. All right. And then after that, maybe Monday or sometime during the week, we'll have the Andrina Jardim Grandmaster Wizard. All right, guys. So one thing I got to show here before we go to the collection that's coming up, I got to fit this in within an hour. It'd be ridiculous not to start to break within an hour. All right, so we were talking about Spellcraft. This is from my personal collection. Will not be for sale. Leave me alone about this one. This one will not be coming to auction. This is the Fiery Inferno, which we got it. This is obviously Brian Smith. Interesting, no artist. So I ran a promotional thing in the Sorcery Community Facebook group. As you guys know, I like to do a lot of giveaways through the Sorcery Community Facebook group. There's going to be a massive giveaway when we hit 6,000 members. We just hit 5,300 members, so we're 700 away, which sounds like a lot, but I think, through the Gothic release, the SCG con appearances, awareness of the game, I think we're going to see a lot of growth, right? So please invite your family and friends, your network to the Sorcery Community Facebook group. I think it's the most engaging, the highest engagement group probably centered around sorcery that's out there. There's people talking every day about gameplay, art, how they feel about stuff going on, positive, negative. I mean, it's a community group, right? So it's more open, right? You can say what you want. You can express yourself as long as you're respectful to each other. I had to ban a couple jerk-offs along the way. They were out of control, but otherwise, I value free speech. And as long as you're like not like talking trash on people or being like a total scumbag and bullying people. If you bully people, you're gone. You're gone. Like, I got no tolerance for that. But if you're a decent human being, it's the greatest group there is. All right. So Fiery Inferno, legendary magic of massive destruction. So I asked everybody, what do you see in common across these 5 cards? 4 curios and the Spellcraft card of the Fiery Inferno. And a lot of people guessed correctly that they're all legendary. Legendary. These are Alpha Curios. Alpha Curio cards. Legendary. And the Spellcraft, also legendary. And in this haystack, there's a needle that says legendary. All right, so everything's legendary. There's also a peculiarity about one of these cards, and it was about this card. One person got it right, and what they won was one of the Brahm binders. So this artwork is one of the new Gothic artists from Brahm. Gerald Brahm, right? Gerald Brahm. So it says Brahm on there, If it's Brahm, you'd expect it to say Brahm. And he's also got this monster in there. A zoom in of his face. So the great Brahm, So someone won this binder. He guessed it right. And then I had him delete the thing because I wanted other people to still have fun guessing. Okay. So what he guessed correctly was on this card, and I was going to go search for it and show it you guys, but I had this massive Alpha showcase video. When Alpha came out, Simon from the company thank you very much. Very graciously sent me a box to do a showcase reveal of the box, right? And that hasn't happened since Alpha. There was a special thing for Alpha. It hasn't happened for any other set, unfortunately. So I'm usually behind the power curve on doing like a showcase reveal of a new set. But I like to do that as soon as possible because I think I bring a unique flavor to doing that, right? Because I could really hone in on the art. I can tell stories of the early development. I pick up on things. And when I was opening Alpha, I had about 15 different artists came on, cameo, one after the next, one after the next. I didn't tell anybody that I was going to do this, let alone tell anybody which artists. So it was just a shocking, shocking show for like 2 hours. It was just cameo after cameo after cameo. All the artists were queuing up backstage. I coordinated this for weeks, reached out to all the artists, lined up as many as I possibly could, just like Sorcery Con. They all came on the show, and we opened a box of Alpha together with the artists, for the debut of Sorcery Contested Realm. Maybe I can recreate that magic for Legends CCG. Who knows? It was special though, man. It was never done before, ever. It's never done. Now it's become almost commonplace to have interviews with artists, have them come on the shows. You see several Sorcery content creators interviewing artists. The company's even done a lot more interviews with artists and stuff. It's like the thing to do in Sorcery. So that was the first. It was the first of its kind. It was really exciting. But when I was opening it, and this was an issue in the early days, like I talked about the Vasily card, right? The problem with getting loose with templates is sometimes you have the wrong artist attribution on there. So they had Vincent Pompetti on this one. It was just Spellcraft, no big deal. It was fixed for Alpha. But as the cards were coming out in Tabletop Simulator and we were getting close to Alpha release through the Kickstarter, I kept discovering artist misattributions. And I want to say I probably caught like 5 or 6 of those at least myself. And I was hitting up like Rafa and Eric. I was like, guys, like you missed this one. Got to get this corrected and release. And like sometimes they're like, oh yeah, we already knew about that when we got it. Couple they didn't know, and like I caught that. I had some hand in getting that right for Alpha, and they did their own QC, of course, QA QC as well. But some slipped through the cracks. So when I was opening Alpha with the artist, I had Tony Sudlow on the show, and he's really close buddies with Alan Pollock and Jeff Easley. The three of them shared a studio together at TSR in the early days. In the early '90s, I'm talking about. This was before Magic. They shared a studio together. 3 Legends. They ended up being in Magic. So I was on the show with Tony. He was the one making a cameo at that time. I opened up the MoonClan Werewolf and foil. And on the card, it said Santiago Caruso. But I knew immediately, it was the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh man, no, Tony. It's the wrong artist. I was like, this is Alan's work. And he goes, oh, no. It was, and like cut it right in the moment, right? Because I knew the artwork so intimately. I was like, this is an Alan piece. I've seen him at shows with this painting. And obviously, like I knew all the paintings in Alpha that were revealed, certainly very well, and which artists had done them. And plus, you just kind of get to know the artist, and stylistically, you know who's who. So I noticed that right away. One thing I did not notice right away, because it's so small, is the blasted oak right here, which you cannot see because it's so microscopically small. You got to have this card in hand yourself. And even then, you almost need like a loop or a magnifying glass. I could see it when I'm looking at it, but it's like so small that the resolution is distorted. And the blasted oak says Drew Tucker on it. The artist attribution is Drew Tucker. This is a Dan Seagrave artwork. And so it's another, in a way, is it an Alpha misattribution in the Alpha Curio? Or, and we'll never know because they don't talk about curios, were they being authentically true to this common use templating idea of using a common template just over and over again for convenience and just substituting different art to kind of see how the orientation, how the art lays next to the title box and the game mechanic box? Was that it? And for the sake of a curio in the early historical development, they just ran with it? Say, hey, this was the template we had in the early days. This is what curios are. And who's going to see that anyway? Remember, in early days, Eric's like, you got to look close. Something's going to be very subtle. So I wrote an extensive article about this card on collectorarthouse.com. I'm the OG of curios, guys. A lot of people ran to curio ideas. I was like so into curios from the very beginning. I wrote all these very extensive deep dive articles where I worked with the artists. I researched all of the details of these curios. I did a speculative article, and a lot of the speculation actually manifested in alpha and beta even. But in other cases, after it came out, I wrote another article once we knew what the curios were, and I reached out to all the artists and I got all the information and history and the stories behind the curios, and I published that on the collectorarthouse.com website, so you guys can go look at the curios, click on the image, get the backstory and information on how to discover them. But I wrote an extensive article covering all of the curios from Alpha after they're discovered, and a deep dive on the 9-piece. So every single one of these artworks, I reached out to every single artist, and I got the story. Why was Windmill like this? Is because it was done in portrait style, and it was a portrait style card, and ended up becoming a landscape style Atlas site. So initially, the Atlas sites were portrait style like this, and then they went to landscape format. The tower was the same thing. So Mikhail actually painted the tower and then repainted it in landscape style. So I've documented in, I think it's on the website or in my Patreon, an article, probably in my Facebook community group post too. If you just go to the media section in Facebook community or search for tower, you'll get the history, the real life history of the 3 towers from Mikhail Nagipal and the real life sites and real life monuments where those towers exist and what inspired him to do these artworks. But he actually had to repaint this one, right? So a lot of differences here. This one actually says Fire Maiden. If you look at the back, I have the original painting of the avatar of air. I used to have the avatar of fire, but I always wanted the air, so I had to give that up to acquire this one. On the back, it says Fire Maiden, right? That's how she was commissioned to do it. That's what she called it. She calls it her maidens. And that's a Fire Maiden. That's what it says on there. It has a lot of the old symbology that you see on some of the other curios. So a lot of interesting detail. The Ormford Holmganger is a card. I love that this came out because I asked Eric out. So Eric shared his registry of his early vintage MTG cards. He has the greatest high graded alpha MTG collection in the world, and it was called Holmganger. So I was like, "Hey Eric, when is the Holmganger going to come out in Sorcery? When's that coming out?" And then he posted this picture, this artwork, Vincent Pompetti, and it said Ormford Holmganger, and that's what it says on the card here. I know you guys can't see it because it's so small, but that was the original name of this piece. And he shared that in Discord, and then it became a thing in Alpha, right? So we were talking about this in Discord, and a lot of this stuff came true in a special way in Alpha. So you can see like why, people like myself that are really into this history are super passionate about this project and this game, because we were there at the very beginning in Discord, kind of like influencing some of the ideas or talking about things that became a substantial element of the game's actual Alpha debut. So super exciting. Another discovery I made just in the past year is I acquired the original sketch for Sea Raider from Tony Sudlow. And on the face of that, where he signed it, he wrote the title of the card, and it said Holmganger. So that card was initially commissioned as Holmganger. And this happened a lot in Sorcery where Eric used the same title for commissions, or perhaps he got the artwork and then commissioned it again because he wanted to use it differently. Or maybe he thought the concept didn't work, right? So he had commissioned that from Tony, and he repurposed that card as the Sea Raider. Is it Sea Raider? Whatever I just said. I told you I'm at 12% great brain capacity after 9:00. Now it's 10:30. So the Holmganger, this became the champion promo card. So a special piece of history there. So that was the nuance that I was talking about, guys. All right, so getting on to the collection now. Just sold this one. So this one, I gotta go to the website here really quick. We'll get into this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna share my screen, and you're going to get a glimpse at the greatest group on Facebook, the Sorcery Community Facebook group. So 5,316 members. 5,316 members. All right. So going back to the group, we got a couple auctions going. But what I wanted to show you guys is I posted something pretty special earlier, and it had to do with the Geistwood. So here's the picture of the Geistwood. I just showed you guys the card live. So the Geistwood is a unique site of denied absolution. It was rumored that this was short printed, right? So I did a little more digging, a little more research on this. And when you look at this card, again, if I go to the overhead cam, if you look at this card, what do you notice? I don't know if you could pick up on it, but there is this sliver, about 1 millimeter wide, of a silver streak, a foil silver streak, because this is the foil card. This is one of the rarest cards in Alpha, we believe, based on pull rates. Some believe this is short printed. It's really this card, Backstab, and Devil's Egg are like the hardest foils to pull in Alpha, right? So this is a coveted, extremely high value card, you know, worth a few $1,000s. I just sold this copy of it, and I just told the story of why this is interesting and special. So the Geistwood here, again, this is a Sorcery Community Facebook group, and I post like this regularly. You guys could come learn about the history of the game, the early development. It's really interesting. So I went and I dug up my foil uncut sheet. So I have a full set of the Alpha foil uncut sheets. Every sheet, there's like, shit, man, I don't know, 16 to 18 of them. There's a bunch. All right. So I got the sheet and I was like, why would this silver streak be on it? Because I was noticing that on the kind of grid-like layout, like you see in this picture, there are sometimes like a silver streak across it. And that could, if the print isn't perfectly clean, you get a piece of that, right? Showing up. So look at this. What did I discover? This is my sheet, right? So I got it out of storage, and the Geistwood is on the corner. So two faces of it. And here you can see what I mean. There's even a little silver line as the break between these two cards. So it could happen on this face of it as well. This is not cut cleanly, but on two long sides, it borders the foil blank area. So what happened here is when this was cut, it was cut a little too wide, about 1 millimeter too wide. And you got a miscut on one of the most insanely rare Alpha foils. So there's almost like a unique one of one now in a way, right? Some people would love that. Some people would hate it. They're like, oh, that's not going to PSA 10. BGS. Gold, black label, whatever the hell. All right, so there it is. I got a few images of it. This is it. On the backside, too, you can see that silver streak. Actually, it's more pronounced on that side. Going back to the card, you could definitely see it a little better here. You pick up a bit of that silver, because on the reverse side, it'd be the same thing, right? If I had flipped that sheet over, you have it bordering the blank silver sheet, and they cut it a little too wide here. And you got a piece of that silver foiling on the edging, which is really fascinating, I think. All right, so here's that card laying on my foil uncut sheet. I took that picture earlier today. There it is on the front side. You really see it well at that angle. And yeah, that's special. Those are some of the special nuances and pieces of history and factoids I could bring as the person who created this group and kind of like a historian of the game. So hope you guys enjoy that kind of stuff. That is pretty interesting and awesome. That card is now sold. So yeah, that's possible, Alfred. He says, would there be an aquamarine core with some green on the right side? Or is the size... Oh, no. I think the size, yeah, is likely a bit off. So you're asking more so, would this, because it borders the aquamarine over here? I think there's a clean cut on the top of it, and I think they cut it a little too wide down here on the bottom. But I'm telling you, it's like 1 millimeter, so it probably, like in a deck, you would not even notice it. It's very, very subtle. All right. All right. I don't know. You busting my chops there, Agent? Should I... He's either saying like, hey, good job on the history, or hey, shut your mouth. Let's open some Alpha. I can't tell, Agent. I really can't tell where you're going with that one. All right. So we're back to the playmat. So I want to reveal, I'm doing a collection consignment offer for our guy here. So this is the collection that he sent me. Now, some of these are going to be listed for direct sale through the Collector Art House Patreon to the paid tier supporters for first claim access, right? You can do that. Or... All right, the wife's texting me. All right. So if you are in the paid tier Patreon, I'm going to post a spreadsheet of all the cards and the price. Or I'm going to post a list of all the cards, and then you could contact me. I'll let you know the price of every card, and you can claim those, right? First come, first serve claim on that. I'll probably get that posted up this weekend. But a subset of these are really high-end, exceptionally like rare and unique cards that are going to be offered via auction. right? Because they're harder to value, they're harder to price. And it gives everybody a fair chance to compete for it, and then the market decides the value, right? They will have a reserve to protect the downside of the buyer. But I wanted to show these cards as a preview here before I list them this weekend. Then you guys can decide if you want to join the Patreon and have an opportunity to claim these first. Some of these ones will be up for direct sale. So first, some that will be auctioned. We have a complete set, fitting because we have the elemental avatars in the background. These are early playtest elemental avatars. So these have similar provenance to the set that I acquired of the 4 pre-con decks that were printed by Eric in New Zealand and given to Red Zone Rogue. These are the same provenance because they were given to that same person who helped in the early development of the game and had these Spellcraft cards. So he also had several playtest cards. I acquired many of those playtest cards, and so did this other person, like I said, that acquired the Spellcraft cards. The other person sold some of his Spellcraft and his playtest. And this person who I'm selling the collection for is selling part of his collection. This guy's a major, massive collector, but he's also into Magic, so he needs to sometimes move some funds around to go chase Power 9 and stuff in Magic, right? So here he's offering a bunch of his stuff. Through me, I'm going to be offering it. I have all this in hand, as you can see, so you'll deal with me directly, and it'll be a safe, secure transaction. But we are going to auction this as a complete set of the 4. I don't think it makes sense to offer each individually. And in fact, I might do that this week, overlapping with the 2 paintings Sunday to Friday. We'll see. I'm trying to decide between that and another one that's coming up. So the playtest, these are early playtests printed by Eric in New Zealand, given to a person that was working the game very early on. So that's why the cuts are very rough, just like my Red Zone Rogue early playtest cards, which are, I mean, but the Red Zone Rogue ones which I now own, there's that set. There is some of these were given to this early person that was helping write the flavor text of the game. So that's where these come from. You can see like how raw these were, right? Look at the game mechanic. Tap to play a site or draw from your atlas. You start at 26 life. So the mechanics were very different in this very, very early nascent stage of the game. You had the avatar of fire, the avatar of water, and the avatar of wind, before you change it to avatar of air for the alpha print. So really interesting. Some of the earliest cards ever printed for Sorcery. Not officially printed from the factory, but by Eric, the creator of the game. So really special piece of history there. That is also the pedigree and provenance of this Eric's Curiosa card. So what I was getting at is I own the Red Zone Rogue complete set now. There was these from the person that was consulting for the game. And then there's a guy that emerged from like Sweden at Eric. He posted pictures of him and a few other guys at a Magic event where Eric was tinkering with this game back in like 2021, 2022. And he's like, hey, yeah, I'm designing this game. Here's a set of the pre-con cards. He just gave the guy like a set of these cards. Can you imagine? Now they're like super interesting and valuable. And people will trade or buy, like pay a lot for these cards. So this is the Eric's Curiosa, the very early design aspect of that. So not the one that you tear and search your collection. It's when the Curiosa is picked up for the first time by an avatar, that avatar's owner draws 3 spells. This destroys the Curiosa. So you use it, you destroyed it. They took the aspect of destruction to a next level where you got to tear up the card to search your collection. So really amazing. This one here is, I got to check my list. I believe this was the beta curio version of the Eric's Curiosa. So we have a beta curio, Eric's Curiosa, and we have an alpha curio, Eric's Curiosa. So again, everything in this pile is going to be auctioned and not direct sale. And then finally, I actually pulled this on the channel. I pulled this one from one of my sample breaks, and this is the only one that has ever been discovered. The only sample card version of Near Miss, a card that is not in the game yet. So an artwork that is not in the game yet by the great Jeff Easley. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is it's unique and it's a quick magic. So the 0 casting cost, you play it on your opponent's turn. Amazing grail right here. Because if you're chasing sample cards and you want the highest of the highest end, the earliest beginnings of the game, this was officially printed by the factory, and that's a sample card of Near Miss. It's the only copy that's been discovered in the world that we know of to date. So really special. Let me reorganize this so I know where these are and what's what. That is the first bag. So that is the auction list, and that'll be offered like over time. You know, I'm not going to flood the auctions with a bunch of stuff. It'll be mixed in with artist proofs and alters and original paintings per usual. As you can see, we got more curios here. All right, so we got the Amazing Green Knight from Beta, the Melissa Benson curio. Oh, sorry, not Beta, Arthurian Legends. Of course, they're Arthurian Legends. The original artwork for this, or the core card for this, was by the great Rodney Matthews. And this is the Melissa Benson curio version. You have an Alpha Foil, Philosopher's Stone. See the Alpha symbol? Gorgeous card. The Grail. You have a Beta Avatar of Fire curio, the Beta Obelisk, and I really love this one. Go look on my website, collectarthouse.com, to see the significance of omnipotence. And I linked where co-creator Nick Reynolds talks about what omnipotence means. And again, I was the first to discover this one when I did the deep dive on the curios and reveal the significance of that, because I remembered right away that word from an interview, one of like very few appearances that Nick Reynolds has made on YouTube, where he talked about this years ago. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they put that on a Beta card. It's one of my favorite curios for that reason. All right, take care, Ziggly. Thanks for staying up, man. I'm sorry you didn't get to see the break live of your stuff. I know you're in the break. I'm going to get to it in probably like 15 minutes. All right, so the Beta Infernal Legion. Or no, was that a Alpha? That's his Beta. Yeah, there's the Beta symbol. We have a foil, Arthurian Legends, Ring of Morrigan. Original painting, not for sale. That's for me, baby. This one is for you guys. So these ones are all, this one's direct sale. I think actually some of these curios, I forget what we said about the Philo Stone. I think everything else I've shown in this pile will be offered for direct sale. We have the Death Dealer, non-foil from Alpha. The Four Waters from Arthurian Legends, foil, beautiful. Morgana, one of the top cards in Arthurian Legends in foil. So all those will be for direct sale. So again, first claim to paid tier Patreon supporters. You guys can sign up for the Patreon and stake claim to those. I'll be listing those soon and telling you guys the pricing on those. It'll be a pretty fair offer, discounted relative to TCG players. So there's not a markup for me helping him. This guy's just wanted to go with someone who is trusted in the community, so you don't have to. Here's the deal: when you have high-end cards like this, and you're paying hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars for these cards, you don't want to throw money in the wind on eBay or the marketplace Discord or Facebook marketplaces. I have these in hand. You know you're going to get it safely and securely. I'll give you all the pictures and videos you need, and then I'll ship it to you personally. So the Pendulum and Pearl. Let's see. These are both alpha versions of those. We got an Alpha Atlantean Fate. There's a bunch of alpha foils in here. Alpha Lord of Unland. Alpha Mother Nature. Alpha Amethyst Core. There's a big one. In foil. So we got some big time cards in here, guys. And then 2 Alpha Great Walls. All right. Pendulum kills wolves every time. Dan's going to have to use his Patreon. So he's seeing some things he likes. We'll make sure we get the ring band. All right, a few more bags. A few more heavy bags here, boys. All right. Fab Rock, New York. What's up, buddy? All right, so we got the Alpha Color out of space. Alpha Pillar. The Rudy Playmat Pillar. The Beautiful Princess. Alpha Foil. Kind of want that myself. Ooh. I don't know if I own this card. I don't think I do. I forgot he sent me this. The Alpha Elemental Avatar of Air. Wow. Dude, what a painting that is. I should have put it in the back. Oh, my God. The Kythera mechanism. Where have we seen that before? That one's for me, guys, not for you. The painting's for me. The toys are for you. I kind of want this, though. I don't have an Alpha Foil version of it. Maybe you'll make me a deal on that. The River of Flame. The Oasis. And the iconic, beautiful Cloud City and Alpha Foil. Man, we have some big time cards in here, guys. Foil Elemental Avatars, Kythera, Philo Stone Alpha Foil. We have some really high-end curios, Alpha curios, some big time early playtest, early development cards. Pretty epic. Pretty epic. All right. The Dome. Right to the Dome. Dan, how about that one? Any interest? How do you like that one there, Danny boy? Gigantism. 2 of them. Unique. So it looks like you sent me a bunch of unique alpha foils. Immolation. Lord of Unland. 7 League Boots. All right. So a bunch more alpha foils, and the last bag is probably going to be largely alpha foils. One more bag, and then we're going right into the break. Once I set up the wheel of names. I do have my labels printed, though, guys. I was well prepared. Just been sucking down this neoprene like it's my job. All right. Doomsday Device. I sold this painting. Spear of Destiny, I own this painting. Gilded Aegis, I own this painting. Grim Reaper. Did I sell this painting? This was in collector tier. I know who owns it. I've seen it in person. Crown Prince. Dream Quest, I just sold this painting. Sold that one twice. The guy resold it. Amazing. And Browse was also in the collector tier. And I know who owns that, but he's held it, to my knowledge. I never sold it. So, wow, I forgot a Dream Quest was in there. That's big time. Those are all alpha foils, guys. We're not playing any games with these Game Piece beta toys. These are the alpha. These are the real deal. Plague 9.5, no problem. No problem, Danny boy. All right, guys. I'm going to slap those back in the box. I'm going to ship off that. All right, guys. So we can clean up here a bit. Get things nice and orderly. Let me just... All right, so those are up for auction. Those I got to ship. All right, so we'll put a few of these things away. Drink some water. How we doing out there? Got a pretty good turnout tonight. We've had about 20 to 30 people pretty regularly. Got Timbo Slice asking me for the link to the Discord. Timbo, I'll probably forget since I just looked at your thing. You might have to message me again. All right. So what do we got going on? Oh, shit. Troy. Nicholas Troy. What's up, man? Welcome to the Sorcery Community Facebook group. I'm accepting people into the group live on channel. What is this? What is this, Andrina? Oh, my God. Andrina Jardim is posting a work in progress. Looks like we got another original painting and paired altar coming from Vivian. Oh, man, there's Pete and his awesome daughter posted on the Sorcery Community Facebook group. I got to share that one, man. Pete's daughter, man, brought a tear to my eye at Sorcery Con. It's a very, very cute kid, this kid here. She plays the game, man. Pete's got like Baker's dozen kids, I think. Probably, this is medicated Pete right here on the left. I call him that because he's got a Baker's dozen kids, and he's like the chillest guy you've ever seen. He owns an LGS, which is right there, would make you absolutely bald like in a day. And somehow he's got this like epic head of hair, and he's got some awesome kids that are hustlers at the game. All right, so that is the Facebook community group. But what we really need in our lives is the Wheel of Names. We're going to need the Wheel of Names. We're going to need the names from... Oh, that's the Collector Art House website. It's not what we want. We're going to need to go to the Discord, boys. Boys and girls. I know there's some ladies out there. I know you're out there. All right. So it looks like the Jihad and Crusade is at $469 from Sassy Man Dan. Sassy Man Dan. $444 plus 25 conveniently equals $469. What a layup. Chooch just soft pitched it to you there, Danny, and you threw it down. You threw it down. The Boss Troll's at 555. That has hit reserve. But the Jihad is not. So you can join the Collector Art House Discord, and you can find the live auctions. And here you see like several guys are bidding on in the Discord, and then I paste it into the Facebook group in case you guys want to bid on Facebook and you kind of know exactly what's going on. That's how the auctions work. But what we wanted to do here was go to the Alpha Break channel. So here's where I announce the Alpha Breaks, and you guys can buy into the breaks. I also announce it in the Patreon. You can see the pricing. This one we did at $32 a pack for Patreon supporters and $38 for non-Patreon. So you get a nice discount if you're in the Patreon. So we're going to get our list of contestants tonight and we'll load her up. And so we got Ricardo for 5, Ziggly for 14, Roberto's for 10, and the River of Cho for 5. All right, so we're going to shuffle those guys up. We got our Alpha box. We have our Philo Stone playmat in case we need a streak of luck if the elemental avatars are not delivering. Sometimes that happens. I don't know. They haven't been put to the test yet. We're usually extremely lucky on the channel. You kind of just expect greatness at this point. You expect greatness. Hey, everyone's like, listen to this cocky bastard again with the self-proclaimed greatness. Where is Cho? Dan, can you go post on all the communities, socials that we're live right now? And we're an hour and 16 minutes in and ready to start the Alpha Break? You need to get the word out, dude. You probably need to DM Cho because that guy is lives anywhere but America. I don't think he has permanent residency in America based on where this guy is spending most of his time. The guy is living a surreal lifestyle. He was a cop. He was a cop, literally. I'm not even busting balls here. I know it's hard to believe. But Big Cho was a big-time cop. And then he was like, F this. I'm going to go be the Chakin man. So he started slinging chickens. He literally slings chickens at Chick-fil-A. And he hires some young studs who handle business so he can just fly around all over the world and marginally maintain residency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Daniel Huffman, you are just in time. The intro just ended, man. Tomorrow you got an hour and 15 minutes of work to put in, catching up on the glorious intro, where the most epic stuff that has ever been revealed was revealed. Not in terms of, I've revealed some like godly stuff before, but this was just like an endless parade of insane grails that are coming up in all forms and fashions. We have playmats, we have embellished prints, we have 2 original paintings coming up this week. We have amazing altars, artist proofs that were showcased. We have Spellcraft. We have the earliest playtest cards known to exist from Sorcery coming up at some point, possibly this week. I don't know. I might have to put out a vote. If you guys want to see those early playtest cards come up for auction first, the elemental avatars, the 4 elemental avatars, or perhaps the Eric's Curiosa playtest, or we could do the Eric's Curiosa Alpha Sketch Curio. Those are all good candidates for a nice week-long auction in case people want to go sell a box of Alpha or a few things, and raise some cash. You're going to need probably a lot for the elemental avatars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the wheel. All right, we got our 5 labels. We are going to need a lot of top loaders, hopefully. We're going to need pennies to go into top loaders. We worry about team bags later. We don't need to team bag it right now. We don't need to tea bag it nor team bag it, to be precise. It's 2 things we do not need to do. All right. But what we do need is my axe tool. I almost had to give up the Gisarme. I almost had to. A guy wanted that painting. And I, as a massive, massive degenerate, had to buy a very expensive painting. Don't tell the old lady. I got a big-time painting, guys. It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of American greenbacks. So I almost sold off what one might call the Gizarme Axe by Tony Sudlow to fund such a purchase. But the person who was interested in the Gizarme decided he did not want to buy it. So what I did was I bought the painting anyway. The expensive as fuck painting. And now I just have more paintings. Because in this life, you only get one shot, guys. You only get one shot. So if you want it, you just take it. My cousin once said, he said, you know, he was teaching his son, his young son. My late cousin, he passed young, tragically, recently, past few years. He's older than me. And he said, Mike, what I'm teaching my son is, if you want something in this life, just take it. And the reason why he just say this lesson is because he was a little kid, and he just ran up and he just snatched something. We were at a family like holiday, like Christmas or New Year's. He just snatched something, like just like mine, give it to me, and like I thought cousin Phil was gonna go discipline him, be like, no, you can't do that. Picks him up, says, good job. I was like, good job. What do you mean? He said, Mike, when you want something, I told him, if you want something, you take it. So he took it. That's what you got to do with the paintings. If you want it, you take it. Or you live a life of regret. You can make a bunch of excuses. Be like, oh, no, I can't get that painting. I got to go. I could do something else. Could do something else with that painting. Money. Oh, fine. And you go do something else. And then you live with that decision. And then a few months go by, and you're like, I'll never get that painting again. And I did something else, you know? So sometimes you got to decide. Which did I buy? I cannot reveal it yet. It's of such profound magnitude because I might reframe it also. So I got to do a grand reveal of some sort. It's probably, some might say it might be one of my most substantial acquisitions to date. Believe it or not. I mean, there's a lot of amazing growls back there, but this one is pretty special. You won't tell. It's our little secret. All right, let's spin the wheel, guys. We got to get serious. We're hour 22 in. I cannot go a full hour and a half without spinning the wheel. It would be disrespectful. Oh, man. Ziggly just went to bed. He just went to bed because it was 4:30 in the morning in his time. Ziggly just won the Castle Servants painting. So congrats to him. And he's in for 14 alpha packs. Like a Chad of Chads. See? Ziggly wants something, he's going to get it. If he wants it, it's his. That is the way to live. All right, so what we do, guys, is we take them right across the top. So I could do like a shuffle, but I'm just going to go left to right across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So sometimes in the past, I have done yeah, it is a banger, John. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. No X wins tonight, Dan. All right, Ziggly. We got to. Don't tell anyone. We got to cover. Don't tell her. Don't tell her that he bought 14 packs. See, Ziggly just buys paintings. He buys 14 packs. He doesn't tell anybody. Doesn't tell anybody about it. He could run his mouth, but he tells no one. Could. Never talks. Never tucks. You just got to do it sometimes. I've never bought a painting I regretted. I have not bought paintings and regretted that. See how that works? All right. All right, we're opening Alpha. I got to orient my brain to hitting grails, discovering grails. I'm a little rusty on the Alpha. It's been a few weeks. I had plans like a couple weekends, and I didn't open any Alpha. And then it took a couple weeks to get back in the rhythm here. We like to do breaks. We like to cover history. We like to showcase paintings, artists, artwork. Got people talking on the Discords. You find Cho, Dan? Any signs of Cho? Are there any foils in this box? Any foils at all? We're starting slow for dramatic buildup. We're teabagging. Is that what you're doing, Dan? All right. Replication. The Hounds. Someone was just showing a Hound sample card in the Sorcery Community Facebook group. I wonder if he got that from Team Covenant. Or maybe, I wonder if he did a collection buy or something. What do you guys think of that collection? There's a lot of grails in there, right? I wonder what the interest and demand will be like for those. Because it's an interesting thing with Alpha. I feel like a lot of people have been chasing Alpha sets for a while. And like I say, like people want the Geistwood, the Devil's Egg, and the Backstab. Because those are really hard to find. So they got those like last few. They have like most of a set except like 1%. The 1% are like the short printed cards. Maybe some of the A9 because they're expensive. So they all have the same gaps. And I'm wondering, you should open a museum of art. Mosa. Have a great artist collaboration. Yeah, man. I actually do want to do a history of sorcery exhibition, which would include paintings, but also like I think I have the oh, there it is, Ziggly. Oh yeah, our first big hit, the Curiosa. Amazing, Alpha Eric's Curiosa. That's a banger. So I definitely have the most vast historic sorcery collection in the world. I actually wonder if I have. I do wonder what Eric kept, and if he has more than me, if I even have more than him. I don't know. He probably. I imagine he kept some stuff, but I wonder how much he kept. He probably kept a good amount. Oh. Keeping an eye on us, guys. She's eyeing up that Eric's Curiosa. What a hit. Yeah, so the one earlier was definitely the beta Curio. You could tell because you see more of that hook loop at the top. So the card I showed earlier is a beta Eric's Curiosa Curio. Ooh, a mix. All right. Now we're rolling. No foil yet, but we're hitting some really nice non-foils. All right. So sleeve that bad boy up. All right, Ziggly. Ziggly hits a Curiosa and a mix. Two pretty iconic cards. Then we got a foil in here. I think I saw foil peeking out. Did I? Did I not? Oh, wow. Interesting. So no foils so far. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs left out of 14. Are all the foils buried at the middle or bottom of the box? Oh, here we go. We got a foil coming up. All right, he's got a step dual sight. He's got Elite Valkyries. And, oh, it's a unique foil. A first unique foil. Doomsday Device. Very nice. All right, man. He might be in the money now. I'm not sure. He might be in the money on this break. Because he hits the unique Alpha Foil, the mix, and the Eric's Curiosa. Pretty hot. I would definitely pay to see some sorcery art on a wall somewhere in the world. Dude, have you been to like any events yet? I know you're. Do you own the store up in Rochester? I forget. When you go to these events, I mean, you got to come to Sorcery Con. There was like a ton of originals there. The Courtesan Cup last year had a lot of originals. You got to go to these main events. SCG Con, you'll see. You should buy a piece, dude. Just buy a painting, man. Why not? Why not? Just one? Problem is, if you buy one, you're going to end up with 10. Out of Phantom Steed. Boss Troll. You're a saute chef? I thought you owned an LGS this whole time. Does that say a saute chef? Am I saying that right? What is a saute chef? All right, self-same. We got a foil. Dude. 2 unique foils for this guy. A pillar. We just had 2 unique foils in the first 13 packs. 2 unique foils. 2 in the first 13 packs. Straight diamond hands. Absolute diamond hands tonight. Oh, you cook for a living. All right, man. I love a good cook. You should come to Sorcery Con, man. We'll just binge eat the whole time. Dude, look at that pillar. That is a beautiful card. Wow. 2 uniques, 13 packs, no problem. No problem at all. Wow. What a start. 2 unique foils, an Eric's Curiosa, and a Mixed Terra. Pudge Butcher even. Even a Pudge. A Gridline to Death Squirming Mass. Gridline City. All right, he crushed. Oh, Rochester Country Club? Dude, I went to a wedding there. What is the what is the name of the golf, the guy that the groundskeeper there for the golf course? I think I was having dinner with that guy at this wedding. I grew up in Pittsford, New York, basically Penfield. And you know, so I had a lot of friends and family in Rochester. I still have a lot of friends in Rochester, or friends and family. That's where my cousin Phil is, or was. Passed away. Sam Marzetta? I don't know if that was him. I didn't catch his name. He knew this guy that I would watch on YouTube for like landscaping tips. Is he a young guy? Like Sam Marzetta? Is he like I don't know, in his 30s, late 30s maybe? Late 30s, early 40s? All right, guys, we got to go back to the wheel. This guy pulled everything. Cho gets nothing. And then Cho's up next. The River of Cho. And my internet's like failing right now. You see that? You see that like hiccup on the wheel? The hesitation? All right. All right, Cho. It actually says River of Cho on the card. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey Fabrock, do you know a place called Muscarella Pizza? Muscarella Pizza? It's a guy. Oh, Dream Quest for Cho. Very nice. And he hit a foil in here. Obviously, what do you call it there? Oh, look at that. Double Rimlands. Double Rimland Nomads. Obviously, Pontillos is the Grail, right? Hey, Fabrock, do you know Bushnell's Basin? Do you know of Bushnell's Basin? Where the Pontillos is? Abbott's by the canal? I lived in a neighborhood right off of Bushnell's Basin. I would ride my bike there all the time. To the C-store. The C-store is what it was called back in the day. It's like a gas station. I buy my candy there. Go load up on candy. Now they changed it. It's called something else after the world changed and crushed our childhood. Absolutely nuked our childhood. But the C-store, why did I just sleeve up this? Who would sleeve up? Oh, it's because it's foil. Okay. I thought I sleeved up a non-foil Rimland Nomads. I was about to get upset. But it was foil. Cho! River of Cho. It's hitting all the good stuff. And non-foil, at least. Dude, what a box this was. We're not even halfway through. We hit 2 unique foils, an Eric's Curiosa, a Dream Quest, 2 mixes. Did I already say one of the mixes? 2 mixes. Yeah, Tom Walls and shit. That's right. Tom Walls and Tops. It's all around there, buddy. Those are my old stomping grounds right there. Yeah, man, I loved it. I loved it there. Then freshman year of high school, I was shipped off to Philly suburbs like a... Uprooted from my home. All friends. Nuked. Eliminated. Tender age of whatever. 15. High school, man. X marks the spot of these exceptional relics. The buried treasure. Zoom not required. All right. Cho hit a lot of Nomads. A lot of Rimland. Tom Walls. That's old school, man. I'm still a big-time Bills fan. Huge. My whole life. Big opener, man. Is it next weekend? Is it next freaking weekend? The home opener. Sunday night against the Ravens? Oh, yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, that's right. Transplant. At least you married well. Oh! Oh for Cho! Dude, is this the sickest freaking box you've ever seen in your life or what? Why did I sell this box? Every time I sell my own boxes, I get absolutely nuked on all the Grell hits. I lose money. I think I'm just straight up losing money on these breaks. I'm actually losing money. I missed the unique gigantism. I don't respect non-foil uniques, Benji. I have no respect for that. Careless disregard. Unless it's like a A9 or Dream Quest or something. So, yeah, I might have overlooked it, but I had no respect for it. All right. All right, so we got a foil. Cho got in 5 packs. Look what freaking Cho gets. Doesn't show up for my break. Can't be bothered with my break. Doesn't show up to watch. Doesn't help the algorithm with any comments in the chat. Just goes about living his life doing God knows what. And all I do is pull grails for the guy. Anyway, disrespects me like that. Pull 2 alpha foils, a core, a mix, and a Dream Quest. And 5 packs for this guy. Can't even show up. I might keep it. I'm upset. I can't remember if he paid me or not. I think he did, actually. To be fair, I think he did pay. So, at least he's got some redeeming qualities. The old show. There's no way I'm sleeving up his gigantism now. Hey, Fabrock, I got another question for you. After we get the Blickman on the board for 5. I don't want to get too distracted. I could get flustered and blow the whole box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, Rochester's a real deal, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the question. Are you familiar with Mount Morris? Do you know Mount Morris? Let me know as soon as possible, Fabrock, if you know about Mount Morris. All right, we got a replication. We got a foil. Oh, it's Mirage. A beautiful elite. Very nice. Nice hit, Ricardo. Man, this box is absolutely freaking insane. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing right here. I kind of can believe it because all I do is pull grails on this channel. I get diamond hands. Diamond hands. You drove through there? Oh, just driving through? All right, so in Mount Morris, there is a hotel. And I actually forget the name of it. I used to go to baseball card conventions there as a kid. Sports cards, I'll say. Not just baseball, but sports cards. And the reason for that is one of my best friends, his uncle owned the place. He owned it. And he sold it to his son. His son, or not his son, his nephew. His nephew was the brother of my best friend. And he's an extremely smart, brilliant guy. He went to NYU. He graduated early. You know, he accelerated course. He's a stud. He decided to buy the business. And it's a very difficult business. They got a convention center. They got a restaurant, hotel, the whole deal. And he owns that place. So I was thinking maybe we could have a sorcery con there. But I got to look into the size of it. I don't know. Dude, these elemental avatars, the good luck from these. Oh, I also own this painting right here. It's a beautiful painting in person. The elemental avatars are stunning. The playmat. I also sold this one. I sold that one. It's beautiful. Dude, that painting looks sick in person. Unbelievable. Yeah, Mount Morris, cool area, guys. But I don't know about in January when we're targeting things. All right, so we got the Benson Infernal Legion Elite. We have a foil, Vantage Hills. Vantage Hills. Is that a DM from Kevmo? During a live break? Dude, Kevmo is talking in my Discord right now. The disrespect. The disrespect not watching the live. Hurting my numbers. Obliterating my numbers. Dan, are you still alive? Dan hasn't said anything in like 20 minutes. And I know he was boozing like during the entire intro. So he might be a corpse right now. He might be like ice cold right now. Actually, the odds are pretty good that Dan's entire body is a sheet of ice. Is he announcing the Dragon Lord reprints? I mean, that's pretty much like, what else would he say? What else would he say? It's probably a good. Oh, he is there. He is there. Okay. Signs of life from Dan. All right, guys. So Ricardo, I got a bit of a stash here building up for Ricardo. Oh shit, I put it in the wrong spot. All right, so he got a Mirage Elite Foil. He only had 5 packs, so can't go wrong with an Elite Foil from Alpha in 5 packs. It's not bad there, Ricardo. I gotta put this with your latest haul. I think what I'll do is so I got a box over here, guys, where I'm archived the stuff. Ricardo's been a part of a few breaks, so sometimes people just have me hold things and consolidate shipping if they're going to be active in breaks or auctions, different things like that. Kevmo always has the big announcements. He absolutely does. The guy's like creeping death. All right. He will bring your TCG to its knees. Other than that, he's a great guy. The theories he was saying on my live show, though, last week, guys, I mean, dude, what was he talking about? Like, what was he talking about? Didn't make any sense. I was like, all right, Kevin, I'm not even going to debate it. Got a little uneven distribution here. And 9 and 10. Yeah, so, I mean, if you guys want to hear some absolute maniacal ranting and madness, go watch the Kevmo live last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He had these, like, wild theories about all kinds of, like, nonsense. Unspeakable nonsense. I mean, I can't even remember, like, half the things that were said. So it was making no sense at all. Something about, like, his idea for fixing Actually, his idea for fixing Dragon Lord was to print more of it and like package it differently. Oh my god! And then what else was he saying? He was talking about oh yeah, like they couldn't print more because it was expensive. Like I don't know. I can't even like it's like the unspeakable horrors that were just falling out of his face are like unimaginable to repeat. Oh, the real Revenant. I sold this painting. And I brought it to the guy at the Courtesan Cup last year. So it'll be a nice memory that I'll hold on to for a long time there. Great guy, great Patreon supporter for a very long time. Ended up with that painting, and he absolutely loves this painting, and he was thrilled. And I got a tidbit for you guys. So all of the artists, almost all of the artists in Sorcery are in the Sorcery Community Facebook group. So I posted all of the artists that are going to SCG Con per their website, and and I tagged them in the group. All of them except, so 5 of the 6 artists. The 6th is Liz Danforth, and Liz Danforth hates Facebook, so she's not in the group. She's not on Facebook. Certainly not active on Facebook. So I hit it up on Discord, and what Liz told me is that she's trying to go, but she's got some things going on. It's not 100% guarantee, but she's hoping to go. The other person that chimed in was Margaret Organ Keene, who will not be able to go. She ended up having a conflict, so she will not be there in Baltimore SCG Con. The other thing is Ed Bear Jr. will be there. That's freaking massive. Scott Kirshner will be there. He confirmed. He was talking to us in the community group. So that was cool for Scott to chime in and confirm. He's been, you got to go check out Scott Kirshner Instagram, guys. You're going to learn a few things in that Instagram, let me tell you. Learn a few things about Gothic. And he's showing little snips of paintings that are very clearly Gothic, guys. 100% Gothic. There's a card that is straight up Devil's Egg. I'm telling you, it's Devil's Egg, guys. So I don't know how it's going to be used, but I think it might be related mechanically to it, possibly. Dude, did we just hit another elite foil? What is going on with this box? What is going on with it? Are you kidding me? We hit 3 elite foils, 2 uniques, Eric's Curiosa, Dream Quest, Mix. We hit one of the cores. I can't even remember which core. It's so insignificant because it was non-foil. It's being trumped by everything. If that was Gridlord, I was just going to end the stream right there. I was just going to end it and run away. You would never find me again if that was Gridlord. I love the Gridlord Alpha Curio, and I love the 9-piece. So if you guys own the Gridlord and the 9-piece, please step into my office as soon as possible. Oh, it's Ruby. Steve, what's up with that profile pic, man? Is that actually you? That is an aggressive profile pic. Ethercept says, smash that like button. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That would be very nice of you to do. I actually hit 2,000 members recently. But the channel doesn't grow fast, guys. It's an uphill battle. Sorcery is a slow grower. And what do? I go and complicate things by talking about Legend CCG. That's barely even a thing at all. It's in its extreme infancy. So I sure as hell ain't growing through Legend. I'm actually growing Legend myself from ground zero. So no one's going to discover me through Legend CCG. So I need all the help I can get with the like, the subscribe, and the comments after the show. No Gridlord. And no Troll Curio. All right, Roberto's. He's got 10 packs. He hit an elite alpha foil. So that was a good start. Awesome Nightmare. First time I talked to Drew Tucker on the phone, we were talking about Sentinel from Alpha. I talked to him my whole drive home from work for like a half hour. I actually got off on the wrong exit, just started driving around to extend the conversation. It was a great conversation. Drew's an amazing guy. And he was telling me about Nightmare, some of the art concept of it. I mean, really amazing, humble, genuine person. I've had several dinners with him at the IX Art Show the last few years. I kind of really want to go back to the IX Art Show. It is nice to hang out with Drew and Jeff Menges and Alan Pollock. They're all awesome guys who always do dinner at these sorcery events or art shows and stuff. So I will sleeve up the Plague of Frogs. Out of respect for our Lord and Father, Mikhail Nagy Paul, I will sleeve up the Plague of Frogs. And out of respect for Dan, who's not blackout drunk yet somehow. He's Mickey Mantle drunk, but not blackout drunk. So you got to respect it. All right. Well, as I was saying, what was I saying? Can't remember. Avatar Image is the Rancor trainer guy. All mad. I don't even know what that means, man. I don't know what Rancor is. I don't know what a trainer is. I don't know what ROTJ means. You've boggled my mind right now with that comment. I'm completely lost and flustered. We have another foil here for Roberto's. Is it a Vasily? Wisp? It's the Wisp. All right. So we got an exceptional Wisp. We got Boss Troll. All right. All right. That's not bad. Exceptional Wisp. Malakili. More things I've never heard of, and more words I've never heard in my life. Malakili? Malakili? What are these people saying? All right. So what did he get? Oh, he got 2 elites. I forgot the Vril was an elite. I thought it was an exceptional. I'm probably thinking of the sample card. So in 10 packs, you got the Plague of Frogs, most importantly. You got the Will-o-the-Wisp, the Mountain Giant, and the Vril. That's solid. Oh, nice. Star Wars Returns? Yeah, I don't watch any of those Star Wars things. I never seen any of those Star Wars. That's the problem. I saw Spaceballs. I definitely saw Spaceballs as a kid. So I figured I could just skip the go ahead and skip the Star Wars. All right. Frogs. Is it Genosha? It's Genosha. It's Genosha for 5. Let's see what Kevmo said, guys. While we're here, let's just pop in and see what the hell Kevmo's saying. So glad I got to meet up with Brian today for this sexy beast. That is a sexy beast. But I'm live right now, and you're talking in my Discord like a scumbag. Look at these guys having a full-fledged conversation. Looking forward to seeing what the Spellcraft Boss Troll goes for. I have one, and this will help me determine the market price for it. Oh, it's all about you, Kevmo. What a surprise. All right. All right, guys. All right, everyone's talking here. Fan original art collection. That frame is fire. Complements it so well. Let's see. Oh! Oh! The Bower of Bliss reveal. I sold the Bower of Bliss to my guy Blue U right here. And he's revealing the frame. Thanks as always, Collector Art House, for helping this one home. Thrilled to have it. Oh, he posted it on August 3rd. I forgot about that. Yeah, we both used the same framer. And here he has framed up the Bower of Bliss. I made a playmat of that. I still have a bunch of those if anybody wants it in single player or 2-player. The Bower of Bliss. There's the original painting that I sold to Blue U on behalf of Severin. It was a sale for Severin. Severin's one of the first artists I started working with, guys. All right, let's see. What's 10? Shield Maidens? I still have 5 packs open, guys. We're going to get to it. Wait, what? Which 10? Oh. No, Pompetti. Should I tell him? I'll tell him later. I'll probably forget. So I probably won't tell him at all. AL cases? All right, guys. I gotta get serious here. This is a respectable show. We got 5 packs to open. That is a museum quality painting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we counted correctly. We didn't oversell the box. One time we oversold the box, and the guy had to wait till the next week. I got a lot of boxes here, guys. It's a bit of a fire hazard. Hey, look at this. Look at this. The Meadow Witch. The Meadow Witch is always with us. Stunning work of art right there. I might not sell it to you guys. I might not even sell it to you guys. Here's the deal. I really didn't want to sell it. I wanted to buy it myself, but I didn't want to do that to Andrina. I think since it's going to be a published piece in a sexy looking new CCG, Legend CCG, I wanted to have her. I wanted to ensure she had an opportunity to have like a good sale of her first original painting published piece for a game. And so I hope that goes well. I hope you guys are interested and bid on that. I hope you sell it to me someday. But I want her to have that opportunity to hopefully do well for herself because she absolutely deserves it. She is the sweetest, most humble person and a godly artist. Legend is a good name. It's a really good name. It makes me want to get into it just because of the name, actually. And then you see the art, and you're like, oh, shit. Lord of the Void. I could sleeve it, but should I sleeve it? It is a non-foil. Fine. Alpha unique. Fine. If I must. What time is it? It's not even midnight yet. Not even midnight. I'm kind of jealous Dan's been drinking. I think I want to drink this weekend. I'm feeling thirsty this weekend, guys. This is Genosha. I might hit the bottle this weekend, guys. I'm inspired by Dan. He's usually out there doing the right thing. All right, Genosha. You got the bottom of the barrel of the box. Might be busted. Might be a Brahm Curio. Oh, you got a foil. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me with this box, guys? Are you kidding me? You know what it is, right? You know what it is. Oh! The Elemental Avatar of Air. Are you kidding me? 2 unique foils in this box. The Elemental Avatar of Air. Foil from Alpha. After a monster opening showcase. Every freaking non-foil smash hit you could ever want or imagine. All in one box. I got absolutely ripped to death on this box. This could have been my box. This could have been all my grails. I could have bragged my face off to anyone who would listen. I'll probably do that anyway. To be honest, I'm just going to do it. Why not? I mean, I should do that, right? Look at these pulls. Are those not the most absurd diamond hands you've ever seen in your life? Straight diamonds. I know what diamond hands means. I might be the only one that knows. I might be the only one using that word correctly. Look at that. Dude, buy the playmats, please. It supports Severin, the artist herself. Just buy it. You got to go to Collector Art House Patreon. You could buy a playmat with all of the avatars on it. What else would you rather play the game on? I mean, what kind of bad decision are you trying to make by using a different playmat? Unless it's Philosopher's Stone or the Pond. You get the Pond. Dude, I thought Genosha was wholly busted on this. He bought 5 packs and he just like 5x'd his money on the break. You know? He's like, give me that Elemental Avatar of Air. We thought that was a ho-hum, end of the box, completely busted. And he freaking hits the Elemental Avatar of Air. Can you believe this box? I can't believe it. There's so much juice in this box. Big Willie Risley is impressed. He didn't say a word the whole show. He shows up at the end and expresses impression. The art of being impressed. Look at that. Look at it. Dude, it's straight karma. I got to offer the 4. I have to offer the 4 avatars this week. Playtest, right? I think it's a sign. I didn't want to sleeve up the Lord of the Void, but I did it anyway. And then I hit the Elemental Avatar. Just a tip. Give him just a tip. What a freaking opening tonight. Dude, I got completely, absolutely mashed my teeth in tonight. I probably like sold the box for what? Like, what did I sell the box for, guys? I need to know how destroyed I just got. How destroyed did I just get? I should just open boxes and sell singles, and provide zero entertainment to the public. Just be a curmudgeon. Just keep everything for myself. I could actually make money. I could buy more paintings. Do no YouTube stuff. All right, so let's say like $32 a pack. Because I think maybe there was a non-patron or two. Let's just call it 32. So $11.50. But then this card alone is probably worth like what is this card worth? Like $1,200? It's like the most coveted elemental avatar. Am I right or am I right? Tell me if I'm right. It's the most coveted and most valuable. Therefore, it's probably like $1,000. I mean, the lower end ones are 800. Is it 1,200? Or is it like 1,000? Say it's 1,200. I got smashed in the face just on that alone. That's like the price of the box. This is worth more than what I sold the entire box for. And then there were 2 alpha foil uniques. There were like all kinds of insane non-foil uniques. Got absolutely destroyed. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. If you open all the boxes, you could buy all the paintings. I could have bought all the paintings, Dan. What the hell? I can own any painting I want. Free. $12.99.99 for that freaking card, he says. Steve said it's $12.99.99, which is more than I sold the entire box breaks for. I'm not even like breaking even. I'm actually losing money. And I lost 2 hours of my life. I had like an hour and 15-minute opener. It's 2 hours I'll never get back. I was just showcasing stuff I already knew about. There's no element of surprise. There's a bunch of stuff I already knew. Who's entertaining who here? Completely wrecked on national YouTube. Public YouTube. All right, so here's the deal. The playmats are coming soon. When I get the next round of playtest playmats, test print playmats, then I'm ending the pre-order. All right? I'm going to end the pre-order when that happens. So what you need to do immediately is go to the Collector Art House Patreon, sign up at the free tier at least, find the post that says order the playmats, pay for the playmats, follow the instructions carefully, please. And then I'm going to place an order. And then people are going to get the greatest playmat ever made. Gorgeous, stunning playmat. Look at it. It's literally the greatest playmat ever made for any game ever, including Sorcery itself. It's the best of the best. You know? Only the best. You're going to get that. You're going to get the Pond one to support Sam McKinnon. Embellished prints. Those might be gone soon. There's probably 3 left. I showed the embellished print, Dan. You must have joined late. I pull avatars. I sell avatars. Should I pull? I'm going to pull it out of the plastic this time. Since everybody's gone now anyway, might as well show the real deal. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show, please. Just went to Pound Town. Just got back from Pound Town, so the least you guys could do is please like and subscribe to the channel. We get rid of the keyboard. All right, here's number 15 of 15. I think at least 12 have been claimed, guys, which means there's only 3 left. So the window's closing for Patreon supporters to place claim. You see the embellishments? Do you see it? So look at the playmat beneath, right? Stunning, amazing playmat, right? The embellishments are these silver accents. Look at the butterfly. You see it best there through the ethereal sky. So spattered throughout on the pearls. And then when you get to this part of it, you have gold embellishments. So the price on this is $475 shipped, you know, inclusive of shipping. vast amount of the proceeds are going to go directly to Severin P now. I have all of them in hand. 14, actually. It's a limited series print of 15, but she forgot to send me the first one somehow. Like, she forgot to put it in the box. So it's okay. She's gonna send that later once we figure out this shipping debacle of international shipping. That'll be spoken for from someone who's my top backer, top supporter in Patreon. But the other 14 will be available, and they'll be allocated starting tomorrow. I'm going to figure out which patrons are locked in for those allocations, start collecting those, start shipping those, and pre-orders on the playmats will probably end in about a week, because I will get the sample prints. I assume the new samples of the playmats are going to be amazing. This one's pretty much already good to go. We're just going to lighten it up slightly, although I kind of don't want to anymore. It looks so freaking good that I feel like I almost don't need to, except a few of the colors. The colors are not quite right on the lips. That needs to be kind of honed in and tweaked a little bit. So we're going to refine the playmats, get those nice and polished, and that pre-order. It's looking for Spin Life. And then we're going to have a lot of grails coming up. We're going to have that is the original painting of old Iron Hands. Iron Hands, baby. That one is coming auction Sunday to Friday. Andrina Jardim, original painting for Legend CCG, is coming Sunday to Friday. It's a doubleheader week of those two paintings. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we have a lot of grails. A lot of grail cards. Some pretty epic offers. All kinds of stuff. That's about it, guys. That's about it. We almost got it done in under 2 hours, so no one's going to watch this since we hit the 2-hour mark. So thank you for witnessing it live. It was a freaking unbelievable box. It was a really fun opener for over an hour. So watch it back if you join late. You're going to see a lot of really interesting, high-end, unique stuff. So I'll open up the next break for next Friday if you guys want to run it back and do it again. I mean, Diamond Hands, man. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just wait a couple years or something. Just do no more breaks. I don't know. I'm probably going to drink like Dan. That's probably in the plans for the weekend. So good to see you, Dan, John, Mercedes Lutz, Daniel Huffman, Steve, Angry Steve, Fab Rock, New York. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.